Yo, what's good? It's the Sick Podcast Anvil Show live Tuesday. What are we going to talk about? Probably something related to Anthony Richardson and who likes him and who doesn't like him. Probably something related to Daniel Jones. Seemingly nobody likes him. Just kidding. And then finally, Tyler Warren is great. And I'm sure there's other things to talk about. Like, shit, I don't know. Everybody on our team is injured. You know what? Sammy, start the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Anvil Show.
Intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon's got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Yo, it's going to be sick. It's your boys. I'm at Colts Clyde. I'm surrounded by these two guys. Who are you?
Wow, surrounded, huh?
Surrounded by these guys. Who are they? At CJ Colts fan, at Big P Colts. Still the worst Twitter handle ever. But happy to be back. Happy to see you boys. I'm actually just happily watching the old, I guess last year, Arizona State versus Kansas. You know, Regent said that he likes Sam Levitt. I think that dude looks pretty decent. What's up, Carvey?
What up, Carvey?
Here go Carvey with the wild stuff. He gronking already. Look, let's not make any of our guys anybody else, Carvey. Let's just let them be their own selves. You know what I'm saying? Pat, what are you doing? I need you to focus.
I'm sharing on Facebook right now, sir.
Is it cold at home? You got on a quilt?
Nah, my coach pull over.
You got a Snuggie on? What you doing over there?
Yeah, you got to talk when you got a thicker one on than I do.
I'm just saying, I'm in Duluth, Minnesota, so it's a weird wind chill out there, you know? What does that mean?
It means like hell you are. Like it's just like you like at this point, you're pretty much just looking at a US map, having your son spin it around counterclockwise, and then putting your finger down and be like, this is where I'm gonna lie about that I am next week. Like that's exactly what's going on right now. Like, hey, ain't nobody got time for that. Listen, if you're on vacation, that's fine. You deserve it, okay? You spent 20 some odd years in the Air Force serving the country. That's fine.
What's up?
Take away all the vacations that he took while he was in the Air Force. He only served about 3 years. So don't give him no big head out there like that.
First off, what we're not going to do is find ways to target Clyde tonight. I know I missed last week, and I apologize for that. But you know what?
Due to another vacation.
If it's not on vacation. No, I flew last week. I flew to San Antonio. I flew home last week.
You flew home from
home.
Vacation.
I flew from one home to the other. I flew from Indianapolis to San Antonio.
Oh, so you got a timeshare. Gotcha.
You know, you got
he has multiple houses in multiple states. Don't you know this by now?
You have that personality of the chair you're sitting in. You got a real Deadpool type vibe to you, you know, sir. But that's all good. All right, look here, man. Let's be quick. Let's be efficient. Let's talk about the things that we know we need to discuss.
Like this preseason game, definitely.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm talking about the blown check heard round the world. I have never in my life seen a more meaningless play make the waves of everyone who has a microphone, whether it be regional, national, or just local like us, discuss how a third-year quarterback needs to always see this as if quarterbacks don't get sacked every day, B. In the words of Cameron, boys get sacked every day, B. So here's the deal. Yes, it messed his pinky up. That also became another issue because, oh, my God, he can't stay healthy, even though he isn't going to miss any time with the pinky. But still, it just shows that his body, you know, may or may not be football ready.
And tried to come back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we can always add the extras. You know, he wanted to continue. They held him out. We get it. A lot of people say he's being coddled. They won't take off the restraints, all the things. Cool beans, whatever. Here's my point. He's our quarterback till he's not, and he's better than Daniel Jones without being even Daniel Jones level experience. He's still better than Daniel Jones. So I say this to say, what are we going to do besides complain or get behind the guy? There's really no in between anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I love the new Colts Twitter space you've introduced me to. Those guys are funny. They are serious. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's being said in there. But man, I really think like it ain't even about being on one side of the fence anymore. It's really just like, are you going to just talk about this guy because there's nothing else to do? Because sometimes that's what it sounds like. But Chris, I'll kick it to you first. How do you feel about where we are with this thing? Well, actually, I do know how you feel, but tell everybody else because I've been listening to all the spaces.
I mean, at this point, like, so, and this is kind of to both of them, right? Because while we're talking about it, we have AR, we have Daniel Jones. If we're going strictly according to the preseason game, I didn't like the Daniel Jones signing, but now I have zero faith that he'll be able to do anything other than potentially get us to maybe 8 wins, and that's on Daniel Jones' ceiling, and that's mainly because of the fact that you, as a six-year veteran, have proven to me that you continue to be the absolute chaos artist that we knew that you were going to be. Like that play, like, and the thing is, for me, it's like what's the one thing that we've heard with Daniel Jones, right? That makes that's like everybody's kind of like sales pitch. He won a playoff game. Okay, fantastic. Talk about the fact that that during that whole entire season, this man played maybe 2 to 3 teams that had a record over 500.
Yeah,
you had the opportunity to play a bunch of teams while you still had Saquon on the roster, and you mean to tell me that this guy is supposed to be the one that leads us here? Case in point, 10 for 21, 144 yards, 0 touchdowns. And then what do we hear? Oh, but what about the guys who had drops? Oh, drops matter now. Because when it came to AR last season, we had to go ahead. We were trying to take away and trying to say, oh, well, the drops, no, he didn't have drops. Those were just misses. No, if drops matter for one, they matter for another. Right now, Daniel Jones, the most that he's had is a slight edge over AR. And if AR is as bad as you want me to believe he is, why is it that Daniel Jones isn't winning this by a mile? If he's as good as you want us to believe he is, and the answer is he's not. He's absolutely not. Like, you're not going to convince me of that, because, like I said, Daniel Jones, with all the things that he's been doing, AR has improved to a level where if you're right there with Daniel Jones, that means that you have more areas for progression than Daniel Jones does. Now, is it the other things that are the issues, like the health? Yes, 100%. Because for me, even if AR improves, if he doesn't play because he's getting hurt, then that means that we're right back to square one. But
ship is sailed. Yep.
Yeah, but the thing is, this QB competition thing, for me, all that is proven is that Daniel Jones was a horrible signing. If you wanted to bring in somebody who's going to be competitive, bring in somebody who was potentially going to have the opportunity to go into another situation. One guy that I talked about Joe Milton.
They was on your head about that one.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, but I talked about Joe Milton even before we signed Daniel Jones, and then they're just like, oh, well, he's doing that. And then every single time that a Joe Milton in a Cowboys uniform clip comes up, they're just like, oh, we should have gotten Joe Milton. I said that months ago. But the thing is, I'm crazy. But then when we talked about Daniel Jones, we go to the Captain Save-A-Hole thing where it's just like, he'll have the best line and he'll have everything that he should have had and we'll treat him right. Like, don't nobody want to hear that nonsense, because you're a 5-6 year veteran. You should have this stuff down by now.
We'll treat him right.
Yeah, we'll treat him right. We'll give him everything that he was supposed to have. They didn't treat him the way they're supposed to. Listen, listen. I don't want to hear that nonsense.
You don't want to hear that?
Okay, I don't want to hear that nonsense.
So I'm gonna kick it to you, Pat. Different question. Was it malpractice on Shane Steichen's behalf to start either quarterback behind a makeshift line, or does that not matter? These guys should still go out there and perform.
It matters, yes, but not as deep as everybody was taking that point. You know, I see the Twitter stuff too. You know, oh, if you're going to start your potential starting quarterbacks, you should have your O-line starting too. Okay, so what if Q twisted an ankle and was out for 8 weeks because he played in a preseason game?
Yeah.
Then what are you going to say?
Well, if Anthony broke his wrist instead of his dislocating his pinky,
there's always chances that you take when you start your players that are potentially starting the season. There's always a chance. There's always a chance somebody gets hurt whenever they step on the field. It's part of the game. Get used to it. Quit calling people injury prone. Quit calling people Mr. Glass until you put on those pads and you go out there and you hit a 6'8", 342-pound defensive lineman in DeForest Buckner, and then tell me if you're made of glass or not.
Yeah. But you know,
he's only 280, but you gave him a lot more weight. He's like,
all right, maybe I was a little facetious with the weight, but that's a big old dude that can drop the friggin' anvil on you. Quit calling people glass. Quit calling people injury prone because it's a part of the game. Point blank, plain and simple. Cut that damn pinky off. That man was back at training camp Saturday slinging the ball. He looked great on Sunday when I was out there. He dislocated a pinky. When I played, I break fingers every game. They pop him, tape him, and I get right back in there. It's no big deal. It's part of the game. Now, preseason is a little different. Yeah, because you don't want those injuries in preseason. Okay? But what do you want instead? Do you want the Pro Bowl playing flag football in preseason? Because if you do, that's going to change our conversation. If not, shut the hell up because injuries happen. I'm sorry. Does it hurt? Yes. When it's my QB that gets hurt, yes, it hurts me too. Absolutely. But I know it's part of the game.
Okay, fair. I mean, I also look at that though, like a lot of other, organizations around the league that played their starters.
I don't give a shit about other organizations.
But they protected their franchise, if you will. They had them out. Like Joe Burrow wasn't out there behind, a makeshift line. You see what I'm saying? Other guys that are, I guess you could say, top names were not out there with makeshift lines over the weekend.
Yeah.
So why was Shane Steichen apparently not worried about that?
Well, not only that, but Daniel Jones is going to be out there with the starters this week upcoming.
For one series?
No. They said the starters are going to be out there for a quarter.
Oh, really? I thought
they said the starters are going to be out there for a quarter. They said Daniel Jones is going to be out there for 1 to 2 series. So that's the reason why I'm going to say that's the reason why there's been so much kind of outrage towards Shane, because of the fact they're just like, you're putting AR out there and you're putting him out there with like 2s and 3s, and then you're starting Daniel Jones off with the starters, and it's like, what exactly is happening that makes you believe that this is going to be, this is going to be good? Like, why wouldn't you have AR out there and have him out there for a series or 2 with the starters, honestly, and then deal with Daniel Jones? So,
Chris, I think that goes back to a conversation that me and you had a few shows ago where we both agreed that this was AR's job to lose. Okay, so coach's mindset was, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. It's Anthony's job to lose, so he's starting the first preseason game. Next preseason game, we're going to do this, and Daniel Jones is starting. Now, why add more people in, more starters into the game plan in a preseason game? Probably because of something he's seeing at practice, that these guys need faster, harder hitting plays to get him ready for the season. That's just what I'm speculating on. But as far as Daniel getting this over Anthony getting that, I think that was already pre-scripted. It's just the way it fell. Because, like we said, and we said this for a while now, it's Anthony's job to lose, and I still believe it's Anthony's job to lose. Because nothing Daniel Jones did in that game gave me any confidence.
No, absolutely.
I've asked before, what did Daniel Jones do in the 6 years in New York that gives you confidence that he's going to be our guy. And don't tell me,
Plus.
our O-line's better. Oh, our running back's better. Our receiving core is better. This is better. That's better. He can, because we said that with Carson Wentz, and he fell on his face. So yeah, I'm not going to use that. That man has not done a damn thing in his career to give me confidence. He hasn't done anything to give me confidence wearing the horseshoe. He still has not given me any confidence.
Okay.
So I still say it's AR's job to lose. Now, are we bitching about AR too? Yes, absolutely. Because none of us on this panel has crowned AR the king of the NFL yet.
No.
We still know there's a crap ton of growing that this young man has to do. Like seeing that blitz. Sorry. When it was a hot read screen to that side, you should have been looking to that side. Absolutely. You make mistakes. I'm sorry. He's seen something. He liked it. He was licking his chops and then got walloped. It happens. He's not the only quarterback that's ever done this. Stop busting on my boy for no reason.
I think the situation is now he's put way too much on himself to perform that, like, I feel like it's just a mental lapse. Like, he's more, at this point, he's more, I think, worried or more focused on, people say I can't make a 10-yard pass. Let me make the 10-yard pass. People say I can't, pick the easy route. Let me take the easy route. And like, you're over processing. I know as a quarterback, you got to be calm, cool, collective. You got to see so much. You got to adjust so much. Then you got to deliver. But because things are happening, I don't think things are happening too fast for him, but I think he's now overtly focused on the things that he's been criticized on. We haven't ever really said he can't, pick up. He's not smart in the pocket. He's always found a way to escape. He usually sees these things. He checks out of things. But now, because he's got to focus on passing, I feel like he just had a lapse on that play. And Lord have mercy, we talked about that ad nauseum all through the weekend. It's crazy how that play of little to zero significance outside of him, dislocating his pinky got talked about. And I was just like, I don't think that I'm even in a real place where somebody's really breaking this play down this much. I mean, Kurt Warner, get me wrong, I respect him. Super Bowl winning quarterback, been to multiple Super Bowls, gotta respect him. A 10-minute breakdown? Wasn't it like 10 minutes?
It was a minute. I don't know exactly how long it was.
It was a decent amount of time.
Just to prove his point that we said in 2 seconds.
I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
So that's just kind of where I am with it. Okay, we talked about Daniel Jones. There's nothing there that says, yes, this guy gets us anywhere that's really important or anywhere that we care about. Anthony Richardson, his job to lose, but he's, hasn't shown that it's definitely my job and I'm better, not quite yet. We're kind of in a limbo, but it's way too early to be saying I got stock in 2026 draft and with the first pick, the Colts select. I'm not there yet.
No,
a lot
absolutely
of people,
not.
A lot of people want to be there. A lot of people are already there.
I'll tell you guys this. If Daniel Jones gets the job, the only reason that man's going to win between 7 and 9 games is because of the defense. It is not going to be on his shoulders.
Well, and JT.
Okay, JT, yeah,
because it
will not come from his shoulders.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that was the strategy, as Chris has pointed out, very much. That was the strategy in New York when they went to the playoffs. It had a solid defense, I guess, but Saquon Barkley was behind Daniel Jones. And don't get me wrong, he was accurate that year, but there were not like a lot of chunk plays.
No, it was exactly what you would expect Daniel Jones to be, which I think it's gonna. No, I was serious on that one. I was serious on that one.
Disrespect is crazy.
But the only reason why I say that is just because that Daniel Jones, because of like there's a lack of arm talent there, right? Of course, it's just like he's a guy who has a good football IQ. So what do? It's crazy because if you look at the way that they played offense very, very similarly to how Matt Ryan had to play because of the fact that he didn't have a good pocket. So basically everything was condensed, everything shorter. you get more yak yardage, you get more to the outsides. Like throughout that whole entire season, we saw that there were a lot of games that, like I said, it's just like the stats look good, but it's just like we're talking about completions that might have been up, 20s and 25s, but you're barely ever over 200 yards.
No,
And then you're seeing
I
that there's a
agree.
lot more to it. So, I mean, honestly, it's just like I get it because, that's what it is, but it's a very, very dumbed down offense. And then once, you get outside of that, you see it's just like Daniel Jones. Like for me personally, I want like if you're going to try to convince me of a quarterback, you have to convince me of a quarterback that is good when things aren't. And if you're a quarterback where you know that there's going to be some things like you want Daniel to be a game manager in this offense where you have weapons everywhere. Like we want him to be able to, and I'm not saying we, but I'm just saying you want him to be able to go ahead and just make all the throws, do all those things. But the thing is, if we're being honest, it's just like you're going to be a little bit more limited with the offense than you are going to be able to really just, I'm going to say, unleash it the way that you would like to.
Yeah. And I think too, like we have overly emphasized how, Anthony needs to get better at the short yardage. But we also, and I think a lot of people are making these points in the spaces, we've also talked about how we feel like they have not allowed him to take the cap off of his game and just play because he's not doing a lot of things that should be natural. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that his legs should always replace his arm, but there's a lot of times when 3rd and 4 with somebody like Flacco is a definite pass or a sack and then a punt. But there's a lot of times when 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, Anthony Richardson can get that without trying. So it's a lot of times where we're overemphasizing like, oh, he just got to make the short pass. Where if he was just playing football and we wasn't really concerned about, oh my God, he took a hit, is he going to get hurt? Like he would be Lamar Jackson in the sense of he's just out there playing a lot of backyard football. And oh yeah, by the way, every now and then he makes a really good football play. I am not shitting on Lamar Jackson at all, but his first couple years, he was just playing backyard football. He literally was just like, "Oh, I'm taking off right here,"
And it was a lot of fun to watch, wasn't
a
it?
ton of fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. Go ahead, let him play that back. I'm down
just
for
let
that.
him play.
Absolutely.
Just let him play. He needs to make these passes. Yes, when things are schemed up and this is your read and it's open, you have to show us that you can make the 7-yard out, you know what I mean, and not airmail it out of bounds. I get that. I totally get that. And I'm not trying to absolve that. But at the same token, damn, bro, like he is a video game type human. He
Yeah.
don't always have to have shit schemed up perfectly. And on 3rd and 2, we try to play that he could have got in his sleep.
Yeah.
So some of that has to be in year 3. Like I think I can't remember who said it in one of the spaces, but somebody said it perfectly. In year 3, you got to live and die with the outcome. So that means if the man is scrambling around and he takes a hit and he gets hurt, and now that's whatever number that is, 8, 9, 10, or however it's been, then like, damn, as great as a potential he could have been, he probably not going to reach that with the Colts, and we're just going to move on. But I wouldn't want to let this guy go, and we never truly tapped into the what if because we tried to play it safe. That's just my thoughts on that. And I'm kind of tired of talking about Anthony and Daniel. So can we please until at least week 1 when shit matters? Can we please try to like just kick that topic to the back of the stove and not mess with it until at least week 1? So with that said, will we even make it to week 1 without having to field a 87 team where they brought in people off the street for the whole NFL? Because holy shit. Holy shit. Are we going to have enough players?
Honestly, we just keep on going through it, bro. And the thing is, it's just like to make things worth like I think Kenny kind of sent out a cryptic message today, and people were just like, what was that all about?
Yeah, he wasn't even talking about that apparently.
Be like Kenny, what was that? Kenny, what in the hell was that? Because the thing for me is that he's just like, what are you talking about? Like, did you get second place in Fortnite? Because I hope that you got second place in Fortnite because the way you're talking, I don't like it. Like, I don't like it one bit.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna need
I read that too, and then I read he was like, "Oh, this was not even football. This was life." And so I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay," because that did come off pretty cryptic. And he's like, "I can't remember what it said exactly, but something along the lines, I can't believe this or something."
Yeah, it's like I can't believe it, but it's just like, but life goes on or something like that.
Yeah, and we're like, "Wait a minute, you just limped into the locker room on what was that, Saturday?" And
Yeah.
now it makes sense that maybe some test results came back. Is it bad type shit? Like, yeah, but I don't know. Our secondary, so we got injuries in other places. You know, Jack Wilson's on IR. We lost Salvador Ahmed. Probably wasn't gonna make the team anyway. Whatever. We some other guys. They matter too. But a secondary that we was coming into the season, you know, kind of wondering which way we were going to go. And then we do some decent things in the secondary and then draft pretty solid in secondary based on how pre-camp or early camp was looking, to now say Juju once again, Jalen now, Wally's out for the season. Travarius was also nursing a hamstring. Like Kenny with the knee now. Like that's literally everybody. That's everybody, Chris. It's everybody.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
thanks,
like literally
Lisa, for showing up. Hopefully you enjoy yourself and you come back. Lisa's a first-time listener.
Hey,
Absolutely. And you know,
thank you, Lisa.
and let's shout out, and you know what, Lisa, welcome. Let's also make sure that we're shouting out like the rest of the chat, because there's a lot of people chiming in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So shout out to Teresa,
I see my
Carvey,
cousin. My cousin,
Stacy.
Mike Douglas. That's my cousin.
Oh, Mike Douglas. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
appreciate you,
What's
cuz.
up? What's up, Mike Douglas, Clyde's cousin? And then we have Region Colts fan. It's Brent. We got
Brent's up in
Stacy,
here?
Andrew. Yeah, Brent's up in here.
Hey, Brent. Look, Levitt is legit. I'm watching Arizona State versus Kansas last year, so I'm
Yeah.
watching.
Oh yeah, and by the way, something that you both have in common. JTT has been looking fantastic, and I only say that because he's an Ohio State player. And so, I mean, with that being said, but like honestly, like I know we haven't gotten any breaks, and I know like talking about injuries is a drag. But let's really talk about like some of these guys, some of these younger guys who have been performing. What's the name? The first one, JTT. That game versus the Ravens on Thursday, he was out there, and you know, people were just like people were kind of like they didn't know how to feel about the pick. They didn't know how to feel in regards to like,
I was
well,
one
is
of
this
them.
going to be good? Yeah, absolutely. And I think we all just kind of was like, okay, well, I mean, how good is he? Like, you know, what's going on? But I mean, honestly, I think you got the first opportunity to see how he was. We got a chance to see him on the opposite side of the line. I'm gonna say kind of in that Quiddy Pay spot. And I mean, honestly, he gave Daniel Falele, who's the Ravens starting right guard, he gave him hell. And I mean, it's just like he got a sack, he got a forced fumble. I think he got a tackle for loss. Like, I mean, he recorded every stat possible that he could in that particular game. And I think that was something that was like really, really encouraging, given the fact that we need somebody to really, really step up when it comes to this pass rush. And we're starting to see how Lou's defense is going to be ran. It's going to be much more explosive. It's going to have much more disguises. I think to speak to Lou's defense, there was actually one of the tweets that went out yesterday. I forgot who it was. I don't know whether it was Nate Atkins or someone else. But basically, they had, it might have been Kevin Bowen. I'm not sure who. I do apologize if I'm misquoting. But they basically said, like, Lou went and threw an exotic defense at AR yesterday. The pressure was there, and they knew exactly where they needed to, and they baited Anthony Richardson into throwing a pass. Charvarius Ward picked it off. And that's what we've come to expect from Lou, like giving some of those exotic looks. But I think also the thing that's encouraging about it is the fact that Anthony Richardson is finally going against something that doesn't require defenders to stand there like this is a game, that one game, like, what is it? I think, what is it? Was it Centipede or Spaceship? The one where they're, Space Invaders, where they're just going back and forth and they're gradually moving down. It's just like, this isn't Gus Bradley's Space Invader defense. This is literally going to be something where you see different type of looks. And so going back to JTT, I think he's really, really, really going to push Quiddy out of that edge spot. I think we might see Quiddy come in kind of like on packages to an extent, but I don't. I think that JTT has the opportunity to potentially just go ahead and take over that spot because to me, I think he's showing you more in this preseason than we've seen from Quiddy consistently over the last 4 years.
All right, so stand right there before we kick it to Pat and these injuries. So then, who are your starting ends then? Because let's see, we got Taekwon, we got Quiddy, we got JTT, we got Latu, we got Samson. Who's your two starting ends?
Ideally, I want it to be Latu and JTT. However, I'm going to say you can probably put Ebukam anywhere in there. And I think, once again, that's going to be situational because they said Ebukam is actually he's been having a good camp as well, especially coming off of that injury. So, I mean, honestly, ideally, I want it to be Latu and JTT just because of like how different they are, right? Because we know JTT power rusher. He's going to disrupt passes. He's a guy who's not afraid to get his hands up when he's in the middle of a rush, and then he's going to make sure that the hands are up so that he's getting in the way. Whereas Latu, he's going to be the speed rusher. He's making sure that he's getting off of that edge, and now he's going to be able to actually go back to the thing that he was most comfortable doing in college, where he's going to be able to stand up. He's going to be basically just, however you call it, just be like just rushing off the edge, standing up the way that he used to be. But then also, I think he's maybe you're going to see him kind of disguised to drop into coverage too, because he also did that. He's going to be doing all the things that Gus Bradley didn't have him doing because he tried to turn him into a majority 3 tech, which he is not.
Nope. I agree. Okay, so you got a lot to say there, that defensive line. First, we'll start with injuries. Again, I don't know what this is. This is one thing that I don't like, and I don't think that I actually even ever bought into this, but I don't like this sheriff curse thing because anytime something goes south, we say the sheriff's curse. So basically the way we let Peyton Manning walk. Okay, I don't know if I like that. We know he went to 2 Super Bowls after he left the Colts, won 1, lost 1. Those could have been more Super Bowls for us. Who knows? I don't know. But why does everybody keep getting hurt, Pat?
It's part of the game.
Okay, time out.
I cannot give it. Nope.
Time out. Hold on, time out. It's part of the game. I get it. But is it something that has to do with our our training staff? Is it the fields that we're practicing on? Are we practicing too much? Should they not be practicing this much? Like, what do you think?
If I was to throw anything that could possibly stick on the wall, I would go to training.
Training.
Yes.
Are they overtraining?
Well, I can't answer that because I really don't. I don't know.
Man, we see how these players in the offseason do really, really, in my opinion, strenuous shit. Like Derrick Henry's training, I would be worried about that. It hasn't failed him yet, knock on wood. Don't want that for him. But 245, 50 pounds running up a hill at whatever incline can't be great for knees and Achilles and all that.
Right, but have we seen any video of Colts players doing training anywhere close to that? Because I haven't.
No.
Now, we've seen some reports about, the wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks meeting in, California, getting plenty of reps in. We know about people doing off-season workouts with the position coaches, things of that nature. But when I'm talking training and the training staff, I'm talking, their weight room coordinator, their body coordinator, because stretching and building your body properly is a very vital aspect to longevity at this level.
Yeah,
so that's what I've asked several higher ups about grass versus turf and the difference, and a lot of them said that the new turf, when it first came out, they could see that being a play because when you dig in, you stick. Yeah. But the new turf that's out today, they say we just don't see it as being any correlation. But are they stretching properly? Are they training the right muscles? Because a boxer trains different than a wrestler. A wrestler trains different than a football player. Just because of the hits and the movements that you take, you have to train your body differently. Now, I'm not saying that they're not, but if I was throwing something at the wall, Clyde, that's what I would think would stick, is the training aspect of it all the way around, from the players, to the staff, everybody.
All right, that's fair. But I think too, and I'm going to answer Don's question here in a minute. I've seen the question. But I think that across the NFL, because I don't understand this. I understand advantages and disadvantages when it comes to home field and climate versus no climate, depending on the time of year. I'm cool with that. But across the field, everybody should have the same playing surface, especially since we got away from turf and all that. Everybody should have grass, period.
Yeah.
I don't want no
100%.
no artificial grass. I don't want no this field. Everybody, and I get it. Everybody doesn't have the ability, i.e. the Cardinals and the Raiders, to roll their grass out, let it get natural elements, roll it back in. I get that. But we have to find a way to make a grass field work across the board. I don't know what that looks like. but I shouldn't be trying to train myself. Like, this isn't tennis where you can play on clay, you can play on,
dirt, rocks.
Dirt, yeah. Like, we're not doing that. When you show up every Sunday, it should be grass, because that's what we grew up playing on.
Well,
So that's
also,
my
do you
thoughts
think
on
that it has anything to do with like how? Because I was going into like kind of talking about this earlier, but so I feel like there's also been a shift, right? The game, it continues to evolve, and we see that like let's just say 40 years ago, wide receivers weren't just coming out, and they weren't these people who were just like smaller guys who were doing whatever. It's just like they're generally, a lot of them were the same, right? Like you'd every now and then, like, you saw like guys like Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker was a dude who was just like, he was like massive, like built, like benching 405 in the gym, whatever, but he was fast. And that was kind
Bo
of
Jackson.
like Bo
Yeah.
Jackson, like Darrell Green, like these guys were kind of anomalies. Whereas now,
Everybody,
they're
right.
okay with you see guys like Devontae Smith, smaller frame, like that happens. And then you see now, and then like and I don't know if guys can go back and just like look back years ago, like let's just say back to even the early 2000s. We didn't see ACL and Achilles injuries the way that we see them now.
Yeah.
And
a lot of torque on his body.
Yeah.
It's to Pat's point. Like, you look at what these kids are learning. They're training hard as teenagers. How do I know?
Yeah.
Because I was putting my son through the same shit, and he was going to these. And I'm like, dog, the torque that they're putting on their Achilles and knees and ankles and everything is way different than Steve Largent days, Jerry Rice days. It wasn't an arrow. It probably wasn't an arrow route ran no time in the 70s.
Well, I'll throw it over to baseball and piggyback what you just said, Clyde. Look how many high school kids are already getting Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. It's different. But I got to remind you, gentlemen, we got a giveaway to give away tonight.
Okay, before we get to the giveaway, let's answer Don's question real quick. Sammy, can you bring that up? We haven't done great jobs of getting the questions. Who is the sleeper of this new rookie class? Well, it was going to be Drake Wally for me, but I'm gonna have to change my tune now because Tyler Warren's not a sleeper. I'm gonna go DJ Giddens.
Okay.
I'm going JTT.
Yeah, so am I. I just I've seen a good amount of JTT like thus far in game and then in practice, to see that he could absolutely affect the game in a way that we haven't had. And I think he might be like he might actually be able to come in. And like I said, I think Quiddy, to me right now, he's a rotational run stopper. That's just who he is.
I'm gonna need you to lay off Quiddy, bro. Like you kind of
No.
At every
Absolutely.
opportunity, there's some Quiddy talk. Michigan, you kind of joke that. Like what we doing, man?
I
You know
said what I said.
All right.
All right.
Well, hey,
I said what I said.
I do have
Okay,
a message
that's cool.
for all the Anvil family. I did run into Zaire on Sunday at training camp. We was able to speak a few minutes, and Zaire did tell me to tell everybody at the Anvil hi, and he's ready to go.
Fantastic. And he's not doing his podcast no more?
Well, yeah, I'll let him speak on that because I've gotten information that I'm not allowed to share.
First off, you didn't even. What was that?
I'm passing a message on from Zaire to the Anvil
Okay,
family.
no, that's fine, but you got everybody like hype, and then it was so weak. He's like, I talked to Zaire, and then he wanted everybody to know, hi.
Yeah, hello. He says
hold on,
hello
wait,
to everybody.
Hold on, wait. This is how you said it. Hi, and he's ready to go.
I'm sorry.
What the hell was that?
I was looking at something out my office window and it distracted me. I apologize. And you're right. I need blinders on. I'm focused now, boss.
DEI.
Yeah.
Let's regroup. All right, we got a giveaway.
Yeah. Hey, Sammy, do we have a winner? Boom!
What? I know that lady.
Teresa is the winner of the ticket giveaways.
What'd she get?
For Saturday's game at Green Bay. The tickets were given by Brian. God, I can't. You know the last name.
Oh, Brian 219 on Twitter. Shout out to Brian. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Hey, good job, Teresa.
So Teresa, message us, and we'll get those tickets out to you. The RV will be out in full force tailgating.
Nice.
Did you do the thing?
No, not yet.
You know what? This is why. Let me explain something to you. Never mind. Just continue, because you're about to put me in military style, Clyde. I was going to have to.
Oh, we can go back to the old days anytime you want, boss man.
A little wall.
We can go back, baby.
What was you, a PFC?
Yes.
PFC.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Anyway, congratulations, Teresa.
PFC my ass.
Look at her. You gonna be all right tonight, girl?
Yeah.
She crunk tonight.
Yeah, now you can't ask me to say JVC's name anymore because I won't.
Yeah,
and I'm still never going to do that.
You can still ask him.
Oh,
Chris,
no, it's
Chris didn't
it's
pull
James,
your ticket. Sammy did.
It's James Robert Charcuterie Board.
And we always say next week. We don't even say nothing about Tuesdays no more. Anywho.
Teresa does.
Anyway. All right. So Tyler Warren's pretty good at football, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
That's going to be something that every game I'm going to say how friggin' wrong I was on that. Not that I didn't want him, because I did, but I would have went Campbell over him if I was the GM. And seeing what I'm seeing now, that would have been a mistake.
Yeah, and then over here, it's nice to have luxury, huh?
You know what? How about we go ahead and do this? We're gonna do this.
That was a luxury pick.
Come to the front of the congregation right now. Come to the front of the congregation. Here's what we're going to do.
Hold on.
Are
Teresa,
we looking?
Let me answer Teresa real quick. Teresa, just message me your email address, and I'll get them forwarded over to you.
Oh man, go ahead.
So now back to what we're talking about. All right, people, look me directly in my eyes. I'm looking you directly in your eyes. Tyler Warren, at no point, and if you can go ahead and pull it up, I will cash up you $1. Pull up for me where I said that Tyler Warren was bad. Pull up where I said on this.
You said he was bad. You said he was a luxury pick.
No, but that's the thing. Tyler Warren. So let me ask you.
I should have took the bet. I should have took the $20 bet instead of just saying, like, I tried to make I already knew we was gonna pick him. I just tried to make myself have outs, and then y'all didn't bite. So I'll
Yeah,
take
no,
that.
because there's no outs. Either you with it or you not. Like, and that's the thing.
No
So
one
like, even
said you didn't say that he was bad, but you was like he's a luxury pick,
he is, when you know for a
and
fact
and you can find a tight end in a later round. Your
you
words, not mine.
you can absolutely you could have. And mind
But
you,
not named
but we
Tyler Warren.
know, but also we don't know what this is going to look like either way. However, what I will say is that when it came down to him, where I'm coming from in regards to that team, we could have gotten, and mind you, I'm not saying that Tyler Warren would not have been upgraded. Tyler Warren is 100% an upgrade in the room. But when you have the 28th overall defense and you know that you needed linebacker, you know that you needed edge, you know that you needed all these things because defense has been an absolute, like, mind you, we saw how
I
many games
know.
last year, how many no, but how many games last year did we not have a single turnover in that ended up being a game that was 7 points or less?
I get that. I'm not knocking any of that.
Was
But
that scheme though?
I think it's equal part scheme and then personnel.
Okay, it and
Well,
every
maybe no, more
position,
more
every
scheme than
position you
personnel.
talked about
More,
that we needed, they drafted too.
the negative
That
spots on the
that they got
defense
it. They got
were
a
scheme.
linebacker that's playing multiple positions and doing quite well. What's his name?
Oh, Wohler.
Waller.
no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
doing quite well.
Yeah,
And
no,
what
he
where they
is
get him in? What, the 6th round
But
7.
these ain't the sexy
or
picks.
7th?
But this ain't the sexy picks. That's what I'm saying. So somebody said, in spaces that they would always take the premium position over,
The
a
need.
well, necessarily like a non-premium if the player's better. So what they're saying is, hey, if there's a premium guy and he's a corner, a defensive lineman, whatever, something like that, I'm going that route. Versus, okay, well, Tyler Warren might be the best overall player, and I'm going to take him that no matter what. I don't always agree with that. Like, I get it. People could say, defense wins championships and all that, and they're going to always be right. That's never not right. But I'm also saying, look, man, defenses don't score the ball either. They'll get a touchdown here, put you in a good position, but your defense is not going. You can't account for your defense to go get you 21 points a game. That's insane. What I'm saying? You got to be able. And people like Kelsey and Gronkowski and all these other guys, no matter where they're drafted, when they become a star, they're a star. Nobody cares about that. This is the first time you can say, this guy, Brock Bauer, last year, oh, yeah, these might be stars right out the gate. That's the best player. Take them. Because usually, like you said, you find them later and they blossom. Gronkowski was a 6th-rounder. Wasn't supposed to even sniff the field. Became what he did. Kelsey, late rounder. Freaking Kittle, late rounder. I get it. But I told you, to me, I thought he was the best talent for what we can get at that position. And I thought Jahai Campbell would be gone, and he wasn't.
Yeah,
So then
and
we
like I
had
said,
that.
so that's the reason why it's just like, because I'm telling you, it's between you and then there's another fellow. I'm not gonna say his name, but I think we all know who he is. Who was sitting there telling me like the Tyler Warren train was as strong as ever. If for some reason nobody else was on the train except for you and that other guy, I'm pretty sure like you would have paid for all the tickets just to make sure that the train kept going. But the thing is, like, for me, I understand, like, Tyler Warren 100% is talented. I get it 100%. But for me, watching that team last year, like, I think we were at more of a detriment because of the fact that AR just had trouble figuring it out than it was because we just didn't have that tight end position sold up the way that it was supposed to. Now, mind you, having Tyler Warren, I do believe is going to help 100%, absolutely. But I also felt like there were guys outside of Warren. I was going to say maybe 3 to 4 guys outside of Warren that would have been able to go ahead and come in and I'm going to say have an impact. But absolutely, I think that he was probably the best option of what we had available at that time. So I get it. I get it 100%. But I'm
How
still
you
not
doing,
changing the
Gloria?
fact that I would have preferred Jalen Walker, Jahai Campbell.
Well, I tell you, my thought process on those two guys was that I believed that Campbell was going to make a bigger impact at that position. I have now rethought that, seeing what Tyler can do. I'm absolutely taking everything back. I said I was wrong. We'll
good man.
we'll see what Campbell does and Philly. But right now, I'm definitely saying I was wrong. Tyler's definitely going to make a huge impact for this team.
I think I'm a little different here, and that probably makes me, completely off rocker in most people' world when it comes to football. But I would rather. It's just me. I would rather draft offensive players and have them develop into the system that I'm drafting them for than draft defensive players with the same approach. Why? I'm more about proven players on defense. Proven players on defense, I would go spend free agent money, or I would really be looking at like second tier guys that are coming out on the market and fill certain roles. I mean, look at what, Zach, what's his name?
Zach Bond.
Zach Bond, just a decent guy in New Orleans for a few years. Star last year. Best linebacker in the game last year. So situations like that, that's not always the case, but I feel like you have a better chance at hitting like on the second tier guy who's been in the NFL for a while, learned the game, has enough talent to stay in the NFL, and then you're solid versus saying, oh, this kid got so much upside, he's a tackling machine, and then, he can't get off a block because all of a sudden everybody's bigger. All of a sudden people are faster, so he can't cover like he did. That's just me. Because take our guy who might be turning heads, and it'd be great if he had a Zach season, but I like Bocce. Bocce was just a random dude coming out of Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, well, he knows Lou's system. That's an upside, I guess. So most people say, oh yeah, it's probably another special teams guy, but he might be our damn starter. And he's showing that he know how to play football in this second, phase of his career. So that's just me. I'd rather always draft the offensive guy and try to develop them for the position in the scheme that I'm running than bringing in a defensive guy and saying, unless it's just a raw natural talent that you can't deny. And those are here and there. They're not like Aaron Donald. Everybody knew he was a superstar when he was a sophomore at Pittsburgh. This little short guy is 6 foot, 200 and whatever, 70 pounds, and he's literally bench pressing 300-pound men. He's probably going to be better than everybody you've ever seen. There's no denying that. Yeah. So that's just my thoughts on that, man. But I'll leave that there. It's almost time to get up out of here. How do we want to close? You already gave away tickets. Congratulations. Welcome, Gloria, seeing you pop in. You got to do your promotions. What else you got, Pat? I'm sure you're giving away something. What's coming off the wall next? I want Buckner and Pay.
No.
And
no.
Grove.
And no.
All of those are signed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I need all of them.
I got a couple more I got to get up there, too. I just haven't got the frames.
Okay, well, I'm doing a giveaway for Clyde, and I just won all 3 of those. Send those to my house. Thank you.
No, you can have the Quiddy Pay one. I'll take the Buckner one.
No,
you deserve the Quiddy Pay one.
You know what?
Well, I got a Kenny Moore Pro Bowl up there.
Sorry, I'll take that one too.
And
Buckner
and you're talking about Quiddy Pay. Come on.
Mean,
because Clyde wants Quiddy Pay.
Yeah, but you hung it up there like a child, so we couldn't even make it.
Oh my God! I will pay.
I will
pay half my bank account if somebody can teach me how to put those in professionally, because I suck at it.
It looks like a T-shirt at Old Navy after a mom has sifted through what she doesn't want.
It kind of does look like
You're not wrong. I can't say a damn thing.
It on the bench, and then you just randomly took it and ran away. You're just like, I'm going to put this in a frame as quickly as I can.
Now, he might be looking for his jersey. You might have stole that.
I might have. Yeah, I might have.
Yeah, because it don't look. Pat, I'm so ashamed of you hanging up these. Look at Quentin Nelson in the back. What are you doing?
Listen here, arts and crafts was not my favorite subject in school.
Bro, I've never taken a look at these. Look at Odangbo. You know what? Where's your daughter? Tell her to come take these down and help her father. Dana, come help your dad. Where's Moon Pie?
Or start me a
GoFundMe
page so where I get them professionally done. How's that?
Maybe you let Moon. You know what? We let Sweetheart Moon Pie do it.
Because she'll put pink paint and glitter all over her.
Good job, Moon Pie. She will.
She will.
That's all right.
No way Grandpa did that. Anyway.
The chosen one is allowed to do whatever she wants.
Exactly. And that's why she'll never touch it, because those things will be,
That's hilarious. All right, get to your announcements and let's get out of here. Chris, we're on the clock. We got 5 minutes and go.
Don't rush me now just because you had chuckles. But either way, you can find me. No, because we were only at an hour 10. So yes, you can. So you can find us on Twitter at TJ Colts fan. You can find Clyde on vacation at Colts Clyde. You can find Pat at this is awful at Big P Colts.
He said it.
Damn awful. Just awful.
I'm getting a lottery ticket tonight.
Well, go ahead, get a lottery ticket. I hope you miss it by a number, since that's what you're going to base everything on. All right, and then you can actually find us, find the page on Twitter at SickPod Colts. Make sure that you are following us on there, and also make sure that you are subscribing to the YouTube channel. So you can make sure you're comment sharing, look for whatever other giveaways, tailgate information when we're out there. And then that way we'll be able to go over that information with you. Also, you can find us on z103.com tomorrow and every Wednesday, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. Also on Mix 105. And you can also find us on VIP One Lounge Extra, the one that Pat finally gave to me after announcing that we were going to be in the UK and we couldn't give anybody any information as to where. So yes, you can find us on there. So this way, I'm just making sure we're going and doing it. And then also, Sammy, can you please pull up the Visit Indy code for me? Yes, thank you for that. If you go and then you are on, or you go to Visit Indy, you'll be able to find everything going on in the Indianapolis area. Or you can just ask Clyde whenever he's in town, because you know he likes to fly in and out in between his layovers for his vacations. So with that being said, people, I think I don't miss anything. But
wait, first off, let's take Visit Indy down real quick, Sammy. And this is hilarious because we said this last week, but we got it here. Chris definitely sounds like the guy for any drug promotion. After, they do all the little, take your Viagra, ball, and they be like, sir, it said that the FDA has not approved this.
Exactly.
That's Chris.
Yes.
Chris is that
You're
guy.
welcome. You're welcome.
Super bad.
Effective and efficient.
Runny eyes, bleeding rectum, and side effects consist of blah, 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 blah.
Migraines. Yeah, that's Chris.
Yes, absolutely. And on top of that, I think this weekend, Green Bay Packers. Before we go, because we got 2 minutes, what are we looking for this weekend?
Well, if we're going to play an actual offensive unit, let it be the unit that we're going to see in real games, and give both quarterbacks at least 2 series with that unit.
Okay.
You don't want much, do you?
Man, hurry up. You got 2 minutes.
I want to see injury-free football.
All right. Well, yeah,
Fair.
Can't beat that.
Sorry. We've already been hit hard. I don't want to see no more.
Gotcha. Yeah. All I'm looking for is just injury-free football 100%, and then also just to see exactly how much closer we are to declaring an actual starter in this QB competition. So I want to see exactly how that goes. So we will take a look, and then we'll be discussing that next week. In the meantime, we're actually under in time this week, so we will see you guys next week. We love y'all. Sick Podcast Anvil Show out. Sammy, take us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Anvil Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.